Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Y2. I'm your support gamer. In the last episode, we had to deal with the Shadow Triad and Team Plasma attacking Open City with a flying ship. And yeah, they managed to get away with the DNA splicers, so we're kind of in pursuit of them. And on our way to try and find them, we ended up here in Humilau City. Kind of a pretty town, kind of. I think the gym's a little bit cooler, but yeah. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking to, of course, all the NPCs that we can, get whatever items that we can. We're also going to be getting some move tutor moves, because off screen I did a bunch of, you know, Pokemon World Tournament things, just going in and just forfeiting immediately, so that way I can, you know, get some shards. And yeah. I ended up having to get 26 yellow shards for this, because the yellow shard move tutor is here and he has 3 moves that I need to, well, not need, but want to get, and they total up to 26 shards, so yeah. Also, when you happen to walk off into this direction, you will see this guy jump out of the water. He happens to be the new gym leader, the new 8th gym leader, Marriland, who, if you probably couldn't tell already, specializes in, you know, water types, considering this entire city is kind of like, I forget what, Fortress City? No, that's not Fortress City. It's not even Sotopolis. I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of the city in, you know, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, but I'm sure you can remember what I'm talking about if you ever played it. I can't remember the name of that city. It's going to kill me now that I won't remember it. But yeah, so the moves that we're going to be teaching are Roost to Skarmory, Drain Punch to Lucario, and Giga Drain to Electros. Electros gets walled by ground types. It's going to be nice to have Giga Drain to kind of counter that. Never know when it'll be useful, of course. And we have, you know, Drain Punch, which is a 75 base power move, as opposed to Force Palm 60 base power, so we'll be doing that as well. There's a lot of decent moves here. I can't remember because we're, you know, does this guy have? Yeah, this guy has Knockoff too, which is also a 4-shard move, by the way. It should not be hard to like transfer up Pokemon that you want to have Knockoff on for Generation 6 here, because you really don't have much excuses. You can literally sit in the World Tournament for like an hour and just be like, oh, forfeit, 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 and get a crap load of shards that you can use to not only get, you know, knockoff, but as well as other, you know, moves that you may want that are, you know, tier moves. So I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of worth it to do that, you know, even if it's, you know, just whenever you have nothing better to do or whatever. So I mean, I don't know. Anyways, this place is kind of weird. There are certain areas that you can surf, and you can get to little areas that you know. There's also people that happen to be sitting in the water that you have to surf to. Kind of stupid that they make you actually surf to them, but I mean, whatever, I guess. And in this house, you can do a in-game trade. You can get a Jolly Tangrowth from him for any Mantine, which you can get, I believe, in the Andela Bay. So yeah, I mean, that's something if you really want to do that. Tangrowth is a really decent Pokemon. It has decent physical and special attacks. It usually uses a special attacker, I believe, just because of the access to Regenerator and Giga Drain. But, I mean, either works. And I think it got like a few new grass moves that you can use in Generation 6 that are physical. I don't remember if you got like access to Petal Blizzard or not, but yeah. So, I mean, there's that if you really want it. I like how you can't walk under this specific area. Like, I don't know if there's a hidden item over there or not. But, yeah. And if you hear a loud sound, it's because maintenance or whatever is outside doing whatever. I guess weed whacking or, you know, whatever the fuck they want to do. So, not much I can really do about that other than invisibly flip them off through my wall because I hate them. But yeah. So, I mean, the city's pretty nice. The water looks really nice. You can kind of see under the water over there, which is really cool. You can see, like, you know, rocks and stuff under the water, so it's really nice how they did this. I kind of wouldn't mind having a house like that, by the way. Having like a house somewhere on the water, but like attached to land or whatever, and have something that lets you like see under your house and see into the water, like all the fish swimming around and whatnot. I mean, sure, of course, if, you know, a hurricane shows up in a well, and, you know, if you happen to, like, have these ridiculously high water levels or whatever, then I guess your house is going to get flooded. But I mean, like, just the concept or the idea of having a house like that is pretty cool. And I don't think we can surf over to that area. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. I mean, if you want to try it, feel free. But I believe he says that we need to get the badge first before we can go after Team Plasma. So we'll be doing that momentarily. Honestly, I'm not very fond of this gym's music. I mean, it could be a hell of a lot better than it is, I think. But it kind of has that soothing feel that, you know, lily pads and, you know, wondrous plants or whatever and all this other crap. It kind of has one of those types of things. On top of that, he's one of those very laid-back type of gym leaders, you know, like chill man, you know, whatever, like kind of shit like that. So, I mean, I guess this kind of fits him pretty well. Anyways, MVPs of this entire episode are going to be basically Lilligan and Electros. To put this into perspective, I mentioned this whenever we were going to catch Lilligan. Own tempo with Pedal Dance is incredibly ridiculous, not to mention the fact that she has access to Quiver Dance. If her base stats were any higher, I think that she'd probably be a solid OU, if not borderline Uber. Of course, her speed could actually be a little bit better, but I mean, like, she has decent special attack. She doesn't care about physical attack really, even though she does have some decent physical attacks. Things like that. Like, Lilligan is just one of those Pokemon that you really don't want to get any, like, more in her stats, because if she does, she's going to be pretty freaking broken. I mean, having own tempo to prevent you from being confused by your own Pedal Dance is pretty retarded. And, I mean, it's already a 120 base power and like 100 accuracy, like, really? And just throwing Quiver Dance on that just to kind of make things even more difficult for anyone to get over, it just seems unnecessary. I could be wrong, but I mean, I honestly wouldn't mind it being stronger, of course, just because I'd like to actually see it be played very commonly in the OU tier, but it's just too slow, and its defenses are, well, they leave something to be desired. I mean, you can't really always get what you want, I guess, whenever it comes to stats, but at the same time, I can't help but want Lilligan and even Whimsicott to just become really good Pokemon, because, I mean, they're some of my favorite Generation 5 Pokemon. Looking at Lilligan's stats, it has 70 base HP, 60 base attack, which no one gives a shit for, really. 75 defense, 110 special attack, 75 special defense, and 90 speed. So her speed's not that bad, I guess. Maybe if she got like, okay, let's assume that she gets a Mega Evolution and she still keeps on tempo and Mega Evolution. If she got, I don't know if they've ever done something weird like this with 15 in speed, giving her a base of 105 speed. She'd be able to match up with some of the fastest Pokemon in OU, or, you know, some of the more commonly used fast Pokemon in OU. Giving her decent defensive increases, I wouldn't say 25s each, maybe 10 or 15 if possible. Bring her close to like 90 or whatever. I feel like she would probably want one of her defensive stats to hit like 100 though. Like one of them reaching maybe 90 and the other one reaching like 100 or something. I feel like that would be pretty cool, but I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't even think, like, I feel like if she got a Mega Evolution, they definitely want to increase her special attack for whatever reason, even though it's already over 100 and it's already pretty ridiculous. I mean, 110 being backed by something like, you know, Pedal Dance and own tempo is already pretty broken. And again, her speed's not that bad, it's just that she can't outspeed a lot of common things in OU, not to mention a lot of things that can be just a common threat to her. But, yeah. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and I'm probably going to use up the rest of this episode to talk about it, because we're going to be going to about 13 minutes. We're going to reach the gym leader at like 13 minutes, and we won't have enough time to beat him. So we'll be starting off the next episode with that. But yeah. So I got to thinking about VGC last night, and I was wondering about a Pokemon. I was thinking of a Pokemon that might be useful for it, like certain gimmicks or whatever. I've noticed that there are things like Magnet Pull, Arena Trap, Shadow Tag, even like things like that. They see play in singles, and there's even been some Pokemon that use the move Infestation to trap Pokemon in while they're in, and allow them to switch out into something that threatens out whatever they have, so that way you can, you know, make predictions and do whatever. So I kind of got to thinking about something for VGC, and the Pokemon I'm thinking of is Flareon. Flareon has a lot of interesting utility, in my opinion. Personally, let me just kind of go over what I would consider for moves, okay? Overheat, Will-O-Wisp, or Heat Wave in one slot. Heat Wave hits multiple opponents, whereas Overheat is a powerful special attack at 130 base power. And of course, Will-O-Wisp is there to kind of neutralize any physical attackers that might, you know, pose a threat. Next up in the move slot would probably be Superpower. Superpower, even with a attack reducing nature, does I think anywhere between 37 and 43% on a Garchomp. So despite like an attack reducing nature, it's kind of broken. Honestly, I wouldn't use a attack reducing nature though, because the only special attack that I would consider using outside of Heat Wave or Overheat has like no base power at all, really. It's it's basically just there for utility. Of course, VGC Protect is usually you know, highly played, so that would be another move that it would have. And then the final slot would definitely have to go to Fire Spin, because Fire Spin traps in a targeted Pokemon and damages them for, I think, like anywhere between 3 and 5 turns or something like that. Regardless, it's just kind of there to trap them in and make sure that they don't switch out something. It's good for trapping in something that you can, like, you know, hit multiple opponents with. Like maybe you want to actually sacrifice off your Flareon. Like let's say that you're faster than something that you want to trap in, but it's gonna die, and it happens to be faster than whatever you're planning to trap in and all that other crap. You can, you know, Fire Spin and like Earthquake with something else that's slower than it or whatever. Being able to throw it out, and that's another thing too. You can Fire Spin to trap something in. Like, let's say someone accidentally switches in a Aegislash in the slot where you decide to Fire Spin. On your next turn, you can Protect while you have a Garchomp out or whatever, Earthquake, and do a massive amount of damage to it because it can't switch out. Things like that. It has that. Being able to superpower into things like Kangaskhan are really nice. Not to mention that its fire typing scares out things like Ferrothorn, Lucario. I mean, you can think of a lot of things. There's plenty that you can probably think of that it can scare out just fire typing alone. Not to mention having access to superpower to scare off things like, you know, Kangaskhan. Hell, you can even use that on something like Ferrothorn and it'll still do a lot of damage. But yeah, I guess I really don't have much more time to talk about this, because again, we can't really battle this person today because yeah, we don't have enough time. So in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting off the episode by, you know, taking on the gym leader, and yeah, after that we're going to basically be going after Team Plasma again, because, you know, Team Plasma, yay! DNA splicers, yay! So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.